Water damage can destroy your home quickly, resulting in thousands of dollars in damage. It consistently ranks among one of the most common causes of home insurance claims, and most homeowners are very likely to experience water damage at some point in their life. Using water leak sensors and installing an automatic water shutoff valve is a great way to minimize damage when there is a potential problem, or even before there is a real problem. This new retrofit valve controller from Aqara could be a way to minimize damage in the event of a water leak. It supports Matter and can be integrated into any smart home ecosystem. This may be one of the most important pieces of tech in your smart home. Now, I've used a few water shutoff valves in the past, so today I'm really curious to see how well this new one from Aqara performs. We'll cover the features, the installation, and find out if I'll be able to use this as my main water shutoff valve moving forward. Let's go. Yo, what's up guys? My name is Shane and this channel is all about helping you build an easy Apple home smart home with new videos and live streams every week. Today's video is sponsored by Aqara, but all the opinions in this video are my own. I've been a big fan of Aqara products for many years now. I've been using a lot of their products in my house every day, so I was super excited about the new water shutoff valve. I first saw this prototype in January at CES 2024, so I'm super excited to see Aqara actually bring this thing to the market. I've used a few different smart water shutoff valves, like I said, but I never found a great one with native Apple home support. I always really liked the Econet Bulldog, and I still do, but that one either requires a Z-Wave hub or Homebridge or something like that to get it to work into HomeKit. So no Matter or a native HomeKit support there on that one. I'll make a few comparisons between this new one from Aqara to that Econet Bulldog just because I've been using that for a while here throughout this video. But this new valve controller T1 from Aqara does use the Zigbee protocol to connect to your smart home. So that means you will need one of the Aqara Zigbee hubs. But with that, you'll be able to easily integrate this thing into any smart home ecosystem, including Apple Home. This is intended to work with either a lever handle or a butterfly handle valve, compatible with 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1 inch pipes. So I'll throw up some of the installation requirements and everything here on screen. Feel free to pause this if you need to measure your valve. It's powered by 4 AA batteries. It attaches to the existing valve and doesn't require any major modifications to your home or plumbing. Definitely a retrofit DIY option, which I personally like. Aqara is claiming a battery life of up to 2 years on this. Inside the box, we get our user guide, the valve controller, installation hardware, and 4 AA batteries. There is 2 types of mounting brackets here in the box. I'd recommend getting the device all set up and configured before installing it. In the Aqara app, just tap New Device and connect the valve controller to an Aqara hub. I'm connecting mine to an Aqara M3 Hub, but this should work with any of the Aqara Zigbee hubs. You can then associate Aqara water sensors that you may already have in the Aqara app with the valve controller. Then when a sensor detects water, it will automatically shut off the valve. No additional setup or automations or anything like that is required, so that's really nice. Now I have my Aqara M3 Hub connected to Apple Home via Matter. So once I added the T1 valve controller to the hub in the Aqara app, it was automatically exposed to the Apple Home app. It will just show up as an on-off switch in the Apple Home app. Installation is pretty straightforward. You'll use whichever mounting bracket best fits your pipe. Here on this little demo valve, we have a thicker 1 inch pipe, so I'll need to use the ring clamp. First, attach the device to the mounting bracket, then tighten it on the pipe in the proper position. You want to make sure that the output axis of the device aligns with the center axis of the valve swivel. This is important just for it to work properly and stay in place. Now, I've tried cheap Zigbee valve controllers before that did not work well. They didn't have enough torque to actually open or close the valve. So I was a little nervous that I'd have the same problem with this one here. But as you can see, it is working just fine on my demo valve. The automation also works great when an associated leak sensor detects water. I'll get a critical notification and the valve controller will automatically turn to shut the water off. The real test is going to be finding out how well this works on my home's actual water shutoff valve, because I know that one specifically is a little tough to turn. So I have a main water shutoff valve in my garage, shuts off water to the whole house. I have been using the Econet Bulldog shutoff valve here for a while. Again, it is a beast, has a lot of torque, works really well, but I removed that one so we could put in this new one. And to my surprise, actually, you could see a quick comparison. I really didn't think this was gonna be the case, but the new T1 valve from Aqara is actually very close to the size and just the overall design and everything of the Econet Bulldog robot valve. But will it work as well? I did take some time installing the controller on my valve. I didn't have very much room here between the valve and the wall, but there was just enough. Again, you do want to make sure that the axes line up properly. A quick test with the manual button and we can see that the controller does actually have enough torque to fully close the valve. I do think the controller is actually able to use the wall here a little bit as leverage to help keep it in place. I say that because every time I try to close the valve, the whole bracket and the controller kind of moves some, so that's not ideal. To be fair, I did have a very similar experience with the Bulldog controller that I was previously using. In fact, that's why I put a piece of wood between the wall and the valve just to kind of help with that leverage when it was closing the valve. The easier your valve is to turn manually, the better this thing is going to work. I decided that I'll leave mine here since it is able to fully close by itself with no issue, especially with the wall right there. That way, if there is ever a leak detected in my house, the valve will close automatically, eliminating any further immediate water damage. Then I can inspect the situation a little bit, and turn the water back on manually whenever ready. You can use the little push button to unlock the lever, allowing you to adjust the valve manually without having to remove the controller. Overall, I think having a device like this installed is a game changer. I hope I never need to use it, but I'll be so glad I have it if I ever need it. I know so many people who have lost thousands of dollars, been put out of their homes, had to stay like in motels and hotels for weeks at a time, all due to water damage. And usually most of that damage could have been avoided if the water was cut off immediately as soon as, the problem began or as soon as a leak was detected. The fact that this one here uses batteries is probably good for most people. The last valve controller that I had installed required an outlet for power, so I actually had to have an electrician install one close to the shutoff valve. With the Aqara T1 controller, you don't have to worry about that, and Zigbee does require very little power, so hopefully those 4 AA batteries do last the full 2 years that Aqara claims. Again, it just works great with the Aqara sensors, but even if you have other water sensors like maybe the Eve water guard, you can still pair this controller with sensors from other brands and create automations and stuff like that in the Apple Home app or whatever smart home ecosystem you're using. The Aqara T1 valve controller costs $69.99 US. That's really not bad at all, especially considering that the one I was using before this was over $200. The torque and everything is not as good in the Aqara one as the Bulldog, but again, this one's doing the job here, and it's a lot more affordable. I'll put links to everything that we discussed down below in the description in case you want to check them out. Click right here for a full playlist featuring many of the other Aqara smart home products that I've used. Subscribe for more smart home content like this and live streams every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.